Hello and welcome to another episode of Vegan Cheesecake. I am Dave Huffman, the bitchy vegan homo.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Vegan Vicki of Urban Sweetness.
And if this is your first time tuning in, you have selected for your listening pleasure today, the world's only podcast all about
vegan food and
the Golden Girls.
Yes.
Because what could be better than those two things?
Listen, nothing.
Nothing? Not too
I'm
much?
Slipping down.
Oh, your microphone's slipping.
You
better hold that. Okay.
I got you. I got you.
That's embarrassing when that happens.
That's okay.
I've
had some more embarrassing things happen to myself. I just want to let you know that. There we go.
All right.
Dave to the rescue.
All right. I'll just edit all that out.
Okay.
Or not. Maybe I'll leave it in so people can see behind the curtain.
You know, they need to know.
Yeah. That we're really high tech.
Trials that we go through.
So high tech here.
To bring you all the best of vegan food and the Golden Girls.
It's true. And today on Vegan Cheesecake, we are going to be discussing episode 6 of season 1 on Golden Girls.
Now listen.
All right. I'm listening.
Okay. I'm about to go there. If he would have done some of the things he did in a black household, that boy would have been out on the street after he got hit with a belt or a switch or something. I'm just saying.
Sophia's preferred method of child discipline is a Melon Baller.
Yes, she.
Yeah. So this is the episode. The main plot is that Blanche's grandson
comes.
He's like 14.
He's four. Or
I think he's like 14,
or 16, something like that.
And his parents, are in Hawaii, and they just are neglectful, and they ship him off to grandma for a couple of weeks
because they're having trouble.
Yeah. So
and he comes to stay with them,
and he's a little jerk.
He is.
Yeah, it's played by. Did that kid look familiar to you?
I knew he was, but I don't remember.
He's in
what other shows.
1,000 different TV shows and movies from the 80s. He was in Just One of the Guys, and Silver Spoon, just a ton of things.
Oh, he wasn't just one of the guys. He was her brother.
He was just one of the guys. Yeah,
he was her brother. That's right.
So
I love that movie.
So I think his name is Billy Jacoby, although he's now known as Billy Jane, as an adult. So I don't know what his stage name was, or I don't know enough about him. But if you go to IMDb.com, feel free to look it all up.
Right.
But so that kid, when you watch that, you're like, that kid was just in everything in the 80s.
Yeah, he was. Mm-hmm. That's one of those things. You're like, wait a minute.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
He's in too much stuff.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he was getting a check.
He was definitely getting a check. So let's hope that. Well, he's still, I think, getting some work. But maybe he had maybe his parents didn't steal all of his money like so many other child actors.
That's so sad.
It is.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That is poor Gary Coleman.
I know. May rest well.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
So sad.
I brought it down already.
I know.
Look at me. Well, but we were talking about right there when you say Sophia's method of discipline when she says she likes a melon baller.
Yeah.
Because it got a good weight in the hand.
Yeah, it does.
And it's portable.
Yes.
Yeah, but
she can put it in her purse and whip it out when she needs to.
But she didn't have the melon baller, so she just had to slap him.
She improvised.
And my favorite moment in the episode is whenever Sophia does finally slap him for getting a little too sassy. But what I like is, I don't know if it's a real studio audience or if it's just fake studio audience, but a few people applaud, on the soundtrack. You hear about 5 or 6 people applauding, and then everybody else is like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be applauding that children are being slapped.
Child abuse, right.
Yeah,
but the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Listen, I came up good.
Yeah, don't even get. We're not going to give people parenting advice.
I know. No, I'm not going to give you parenting advice, but I'm just saying.
And like I said, I think previously about my babysitting technique does involve duct tape and twine. So
nothing wrong with that.
I think that maybe kids do need perhaps some stronger discipline. I don't want to say a child should be beaten with a melon baller.
No,
but the belt was hanging up in our kitchen, and that was always threatened with the belt.
Listen,
you're going to get the belt when you get home.
Listen,
that's what I got all the
belt,
time. Mm-hmm.
I had the belt. I had the electric cord, the extension cord, a shoe.
Yeah.
A wet
towel. Shoe, whatever. Anything handy.
Whatever she can find within reach. You just better make sure everything was clear.
All right.
That's it. But he was just all over the place.
Yeah, he was
First, he wasn't on the plane or wasn't at the airport.
He stowed away in the bathroom.
Yes.
And ended up in the Bahamas. And then they had to ship him back.
All over the place.
Yeah. And he had that great line with where he asked Rose if she went to the Bahamas on the Nina and the Pinto, the Santa Maria.
Maria.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And she just Come on, Rose. You got to be quick, Rose.
Well, but remember when they were talking before he even got there, they were talking about like, what are we going to do with him? And they were suggesting, like, oh, we could take him to Disney World or the Everglades or then Rambo to go see the movie Rambo.
Yeah, she said, oh, I've seen it twice. Keeps his shirt off the whole
and sweats like a pig.
Like a pig, yes. I said, give it to him.
Oh, Sophia has apparently has a thing for Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Sophia a little hot.
Yeah.
She getting older.
Yeah.
That dementia got
She's
her.
old. She's not dead.
No, she's not. That stroke and mixed with a little dementia.
It's a good combination.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for man hungriness.
Right. It was.
Did you ever see Rambo? Did you see Rambo in the theater when it was out?
I did. Well, no, I didn't. You know what? Did I go see it at the theater? I think I did. It was so long ago.
It was a long time ago. I remember seeing it in the theater. I went with my dad and my brother, and my brother went with a whole bunch of his football friends. So they all sat away from us. Right. And I was sitting in the back with my dad, and I just couldn't stop laughing. I thought that movie was hilarious.
Yeah,
it is just so ridiculously
there are some
bad.
Things, yeah. I was I did go see it with my dad, and I just remember like, oh my gosh, I want to go.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's a classic.
It's a really hilariously cheesy 80s over the top action movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
sweating like a pig, running through the woods, setting up
jungle.
booby trap. Yeah, the jungle. All of that. It's so classic.
It is.
Classically just...
I was about like maybe 10 feet away from Sylvester Stallone one time at an event.
Really?
And his head literally looks like a giant tomato. He was the reddest non-human complexion I've ever seen on a human being.
Get out of here.
It was
Did he tan himself?
No, it looked like when someone had taken perhaps either too much or not enough of their blood pressure medicine. That's what it looked like to me. Yeah. It was
and he's short.
He is not a big. He's a big guy, but he's not a tall guy.
He's short.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because
he's not like short, but he is like 5'10". Like you think of these people as being all
5'7", like
6 foot tall, like giant.
At
people,
least 5'8" or taller.
I think he's like 5'10" or something like that. He's not like short.
No, he was shorter than that.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Well, now she's using the internet.
I gotta look it up. The internet. Listen, people, if it's on the internet,
it's got to be true. It's got to be absolutely accurate.
But you know what?
Especially when it comes to celebrity, personal details. They wouldn't possibly alter those. It has to be correct.
Never at all. But I like when Rose talked about what she was going to make him.
Oh.
Like her son. Since
the snack.
She was like, the snack.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, he doesn't want...
It was like a triple-decker BLT.
Yeah, the BLT.
Potato salad.
Yes.
And then like a giant piece of chocolate cake or something, right?
Yeah, devil's food cake. Yeah,
chocolate fudge cake.
Yes.
I think is what it is. Yeah.
That's what she wanted to...
Well, I actually remember one of my favorite sandwiches I had back when Poisonberry was Poisonberry here in Cleveland. They had a triple, like it was all vegan, of course, a triple vegan bacon like BLT sandwich where you had 3 different types of vegan bacon on it. It was
that the breakfast sandwich?
No, it was just like a regular like lunch sandwich, but it was really, really good. It was like a triple decker BLT, and it was delicious.
That's awesome.
So I think I'm gonna make our friend John make me one.
Yeah, you hear that, John? Make 2 while you're at it, buddy. But no, so what has been like your favorite lunch combination as a vegan?
What's my go-to kind of lunch thing?
Your go-to.
Like if I'm packing my lunch?
Yeah.
It's usually leftovers because
okay.
It's because I ate out at a restaurant the night before and I've got leftovers.
Okay, yeah.
Or it's because I made something at home and then I bring that in. I very rarely like get up and make a lunch, and if I'm in a hurry, my go-to thing is ultimately still just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like if I need to pack my lunch, and I'm in a hurry, it's going to be peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Now me having a nut allergy.
You can't do that.
I can't do that.
It could be your last. It could be your last lunch.
That could be my last meal, and I would be so mad. I'd be like, "Are you saying I'm gonna die eating this peanut butter and that?"
Yeah, that's not the best way to go.
So
yeah,
I would come back and haunt everybody.
Okay,
I would,
especially like, Mr. Peanut.
Absolutely, I'd be like, "You made me eat that stupid sandwich," but I did have
knock the monocle right off his face.
Right off his face. I actually had what is it? Soy butter. Which is that
right. Like,
yes, and it's I have the one where it's actually made in a nut-free facility.
Excellent.
So there's no
chance that it's going to kill you.
Cross-contamination or anything. And now I see what the hype is about the peanut butter and jelly. Like, I've never experienced that before in my life.
Right.
So I was, in the grocery store, and I was like, I wonder if they have,
Right. Something
and
you
I
can...
saw, like, the soy butter. And I was like, and I looked, and I was like, okay. And I was really nervous to even eat it because I was like...
You didn't quite believe it.
Right. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. Because even my sister...
Did you have your sister standing by with like an EpiPen just in case?
I was like, you better... Because even when I brought it home, she was like, why would you buy that?
Right.
So even when we opened it, and it smells like...
It smells like peanut butter? No, can your sister eat nuts?
Yeah, Cindy can eat... Yeah, I think I'm like the
You're just the genetic oddity of the family?
Of my family. Yeah. It's like the fish, nuts...
You got it all.
Everything. So when I opened a container and she smelled it, she was like, I don't know, because this smells like peanut butter.
Yeah.
But then when I ate it, and she
love
tasted it too, and she was like, it tastes similar. When I put that together, the heavens opened up for me.
Good. I'm glad you finally got to experience it.
It was like the saltiness along with that creaminess with the jelly.
It's delicious.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
I was very...
So do you keep that in stock all the time, or did you go through that one jar and never bought it again?
No, I buy jars periodically.
Okay.
Because I have this thing, and if anybody, DM me, hit me up, whatever. I have this thing where when I discover something, I like overdo it.
Gotcha.
So I think I consumed at least like 5 sandwiches that day. And then just kept going and going. And I got sick of it. Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah, I can, I definitely get that, like, get sick of something too. I'll do that same thing. Yeah. Where I'll, like, eat something too much. You had, I think, that Gold Rush apple last time we were recording, which I don't know if we talked about on air, but my favorite apples are these hard to find apples called Gold Rush apples. You can only get them from a few places. Anyway, they're delicious. They're the best apples. And whenever I get them once a year, I buy half a bushel.
And just go in.
And that's a lot of apples.
Go at it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I make a lot of, galettes and pies and apple fritters and all these other things. But I'm eating several of those apples every day. And as much as I love them, I'm like, there's still some apples sitting on my table in the bowl there that, the last ones. And I got to eat them soon.
Right. You're
because
like,
nothing makes me sadder than when they get to the point where, the only thing I can really do is either bake with them or make applesauce. Yeah. And then I'm like, these are too good of apples to just reduce down to applesauce.
Right.
That's not what they're for.
I know.
Yeah. So I can understand.
So
we need to learn some limits.
I really do. And I'm going to do it one day.
Well, when we're talking about leftovers, since I said that was what I always bring for lunch, this last week was Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So this is when people have just a ton of leftovers.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have a lot of leftovers? And what have you been doing creatively to get rid of your leftovers?
You know what? I did not have a lot of leftovers, but what I did do with the ones that I had, I kind of mixed it with like, I had like sweet potatoes left. And even though they were kind of sweet, I still...
Thus the name.
Huh?
Thus the name.
Yeah, true. True. But I add my little thing to it. I actually rinsed them off. Okay. And made like a sweet potato hash.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And put a little cranberry sauce on it afterwards, So I did that with... I put dressing in it just a little bit, But then, something that you told me and it has stuck with me.
What?
Anything over 3 toppings.
Yeah.
I said this is because I started to go at it.
Right.
And I was like, no, stop.
Don't clutter it up.
Don't clutter it. And I felt really good about myself.
Well, good.
Because I said I did not go over 3 toppings. And
Is that going to be the Huffman rule?
It is. That's the Huffman rule.
Oh. The Huffman rule of 3 toppings?
Yes.
Well, I was in clear violation of the Huffman rule of 3 toppings with my leftovers. Do? Well, I did this last year too with Thanksgiving. Yeah, I did a Thanksgiving pizza. And it is a delicious way to get rid of your leftovers. It is just like having a Thanksgiving meal on a pizza. But you would never just make that pizza because you'd have to make all the elements, to go on it. But if you have all the leftovers, it's perfect.
But how clever is that?
It's so good. So yeah, I just, I had to make my pizza dough. Right. And then I had some leftover gravy. So the gravy is the sauce. And then I had some leftover of the seitan turkey that I made, so that was on there. Some mashed potatoes, some stuffing, and a blend of the Violife and Daya cheeses, the mozzarellas, and then a little bit more gravy on top.
Okay.
And then once that cooks, then I just put cranberry sauce on it. And it's delicious.
That's genius.
But it's also more than 3 toppings, so I'm in clear violation of my rule.
It is, but it's a special occasion.
It is a special occasion.
So therefore, that kind of X's out that rule.
Yeah, it's really good.
But when I saw that, I said, that is brilliant.
Why, thanks.
That was.
Yeah, if I had a restaurant, I would have that on the menu.
That you should.
I'm never going to have a restaurant, though.
Okay.
No.
Right.
People keep asking me, are you gonna ever open up your own shop or restaurant? Or I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work.
It is. Yeah. And people don't
people don't understand. It's not people there's so many people out there that think they have the fantasy of having their own place. And I love to cook for people, but that would just be exhausting.
It's a lot.
I know. Just doing what we do already is a lot, and we're not doing that all the time.
Listen.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was lucky enough, I didn't have to actually make the entire Thanksgiving meal. I had leftovers from when I did stuff for posts and things. But for actual Thanksgiving, I went to a friend's house.
Nice.
And she made everything. All I had to do is I made the desserts. I brought an rosemary apple galette, which was delightful, and a berry galette, which was also quite good.
You know, rosemary, I love rosemary.
Rosemary and apple together is so good.
It gives like the right little... tinge, especially on potatoes too.
Oh yeah,
but but that was awesome. I had to cook for a couple people. I did not take a lot of orders, which was amazing.
Good for you.
Because last year
you did too much.
What was so bad was last year I took all these orders and I got the orders done. But as soon as I got the orders done and it was time to deliver, who gets a vertigo attack?
Oh, I bet it was you.
Oh my gosh. And my sister had to drive me around to all these. And I'm like, the people, I'm like, I'm outside. Please come get this. I was just like, oh my gosh. And my sister was mad at me. I was like, I'm sorry.
Aw. Well, if you ever need help, I'd help you.
Thank you. You're hear welcome. That still? No. No, my sister's
but yeah, you had a vertigo attack the day we were supposed to go on a road trip to Pittsburgh too.
Oh my God, I know. You know what? I am really.
You missed a fabulous vegan meal over.
Ate my food.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness.
John, you hear that? No.
But yeah, so I did all the desserts for the Pittsburgh's Justice for Animal people that do the Pittsburgh Veg Fest, and so that was a couple weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving.
I was looking at the pictures like.
Oh, I should have been there.
I know. I should have. And I literally, because I took medicine. And then it zonks me out. Right. It's not like it helps the dizziness.
People are going to think you're always drugged because you were a little on something last time we were recording.
Yeah, I was.
Too.
But that was for my allergies. But, I'm not real, hey, it is what it is, people.
It is. She's fine.
I really am. They were like, that girl is something
that needle hanging out of her arm doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
And then mind your business if it is.
Well, all right. So speaking of excessive things here, I'm going to tie it right back to the Golden Girls. You're going to love this. I like whenever Sophia is getting ready, when Sophia and Dorothy are sharing a room again. And Sophia's getting ready for her night ritual.
Yes.
And which involves her first that loud nail file, and then the lotion she's slapping on herself, and then when they get into bed, she's like, "Mom, what's that smell?"
Oh, she said nothing. A little Bengay on my knees.
And then a little Vicks on my chest.
A little Vicks on my chest. Then
a little deep heat on my neck. So she
goes, "What, you gonna pick on you?"
And I don't know if you've ever if you know this, but if you use because Nick sometimes uses some of those muscle rubs, and they're mint derivatives. Bengay smells like mint.
Yeah.
And mint is in the same family as catnip. So when you put that on, the cats go crazy. The cats, they don't go catnip crazy running around, but they can't stop sniffing it, and they just are like dogs. They're they come.
So they're just
all over you, and they just are sniffing. Yeah, it's hilarious.
That is funny.
So
so they probably all over him.
They're just wherever it is. They're just right there. Hilarious.
I didn't know that.
Yep, it's pretty entertaining.
That's funny.
But yeah, when Dorothy's like, "What are you trying to do? Pickle yourself?"
Yeah, she did, because she had everything.
That's a lot. That's a lot of product.
Yeah. But hey, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
I'm just saying.
As established with your drug use.
Right. That's legal drug use.
Yes, of course, obviously.
Right. Come on now.
One other thing, when we talk about your Thanksgiving orders, I saw that you had posted that you had made your strawberry cheesecake. You made a vegan cheesecake.
I made a vegan cheesecake.
Here we are, finally making vegan cheesecakes after we've been hosting a podcast called Vegan Cheesecake for quite a while.
Yeah. I was so excited. And it was really good. It was nice and creamy. And I made Aquafaba whipped cream.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And I put it around and then put the strawberry filling in the middle.
Nice. Now, the Aquafaba whipped cream that you made, was it, because I've not done it, because I was reading about it, and it sounds like the kind of thing that you have to kind of, it doesn't hold very long, like what I've been reading about. Like, So I've not done it because I'm like, well, if you're going to use it right then, it's fine. But if you're going to like have it sit for 30 minutes or whatever, it might not be good. So I don't know. What did you do with that?
Well, see, what I did with it, I added some neutral oil to it.
Okay.
And it held.
That helps it hold up? Okay.
Yeah. But what I did too is once I put it on the pie, I put the pie in the freezer.
Oh, so it kind of.
And it kind of
solidified up. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Because I knew you wouldn't put agar in it because that would hurt you.
No, yeah, that was
one of your damn allergies.
I know. I'm so mad.
I'm just so proud of you for look how far you've come using Aquafaba.
I just, I want to take this time
a few months ago
to thank my Aquafaba mentor, Dave, the Vicki vegan.
Thank you very much. I'm honored.
You've taken me to newer, higher heights.
Yeah, I need to. I keep thinking I'm gonna do more stuff with it too. Like I still haven't done. I think we talked about making the macarons. I haven't done that and a bunch of other things. But I've done like the meringue pies and I use it in some other things, and I use it in a lot of some of my cake recipes to kind of lighten those up and bind it. And stuff. So,
But that's what I want to do. But what I want to do. I tried to make one, but I want to do a pavlova.
Oh, I want to do one too. We should have a pavlova challenge. Let's put that on the list of great, best intentions.
Yes, that's best intentions, page 72.
If you're just listening, that's things that we talk about doing that never actually happen.
Do.
Yeah, but
but we're gonna. Yeah, I want to do
because ever since I watched the Great British Baking.
Oh my gosh!
When they did the pavlova episode,
stop it!
I was like, I'd never really even seen one.
How
but now...
are we? We are kindred spirits, you and I. That's where I got it from, and they had the kiwi and everything. It looked so beautiful. I was like, I so want to do that.
You can do it with Aquafaba.
Yes.
No need to hurt any, dead chickens. You ain't gotta do it. Or unborn chickens, rather, I should say.
Leave them alone.
Watching the Great British Bake Off.
I love that show.
A true, it's just the Great British Baking Show. I always want to say Bake Off, but it's
baking show.
But it's a terrible thing to watch whenever you have my condition, which is sugar whoredom, because I always want to just eat whatever they make, and then I want to just go do it, and sometimes I do, and then sometimes I don't. But the one time they did, the week that they did the trifle, which is just like in a glass bowl layered, cake and all that stuff, and I realized, I don't have a trifle bowl. I don't have a trifle dish. One. So I went to Kohl's to buy a trifle dish. I went there specifically to buy like a $20 trifle dish. Yeah. And if I don't know if you've ever shopped at Kohl's, but they trick you into spending a lot more money than you mean to. So I ended up leaving there. Literally, I think we spent $500 on other stuff.
Yeah.
And all I wanted was this $20 trifle bowl. I mean, I did get the trifle bowl. It wasn't like the kind of thing where I was like, and all the other stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, but Kohl's, I have to go I have to be like, listen, this is my tunnel vision. I'm going in for one thing because if I get sidetracked, I'm coming out with shoes.
Yep.
I'm coming out with a shirt.
Well, that's what I like about Kohl's because you can actually get
one-stop shop.
Well, you can get non-leather dress shoes there. They actually have fairly decent ones. That is still the thing that, as far as the vegan fashion world goes, I think shoes are still the bigger challenge for us. But to get a quality one that doesn't, they might look good for a little bit, but then sometimes they don't. They don't wear very well.
About 10 wears, it's over.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
Doggone it.
Well, but thankfully Kohl's isn't expensive.
I know. Thank you, Kohl's. Hit us up.
Oh, is that another one of your trying to trick them into sponsoring you?
There you go.
Oh, I see.
Boom.
You're going to someday see her walking down the street, folks, in a jacket that's got like, she's going to look like an Indy 500 driver.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Because I'm going to have everybody. I'm just going to be a walking billboard, people.
All right. I like it.
Yes.
Why not?
I'm just saying.
Well, speaking of being a billboard, why don't we talk about who we are, where people can find us? Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, again, it's your girl, Vegan Vicki, Urban Sweetness. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at urban_sweetness, and website, www.urbansweetness.com. And I don't have anything coming up.
No, because it's the holidays. You're taking a little time off.
And I'm not doing too much of anything.
Nice. That's
so
excellent.
I think that this last month I'm gonna I gotta focus on 2020.
Gotcha.
Big things coming.
All right, big things coming.
Yeah.
Well, you've had a very busy 2019.
I know. And you know what? That's another thing. Maybe that's another show. But just looking back, like, oh, you know what? Before we go,
what?
I wanted to say that I am thankful for you because we had Thanksgiving just passed. But no, I truly am.
You sent me a very nice note on Thanksgiving.
I did.
If I had a heart, it would have been warmed up.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
But no, I do. I think.
Well, I'm very thankful for you too. I love that our friendship has grown into some interesting, fun things.
Yes,
so it's really good. Yeah. Well, I am Dave Huffman, Vicki's bitchy vegan homo sidekick.
Boom.
And you can find me online at bitchyveganhomo.com, on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at bitchy vegan homo, and on Facebook I'm at BVH Show. And for vegan cheesecake, you can find us on Instagram at Vegan Cheesecake Pod. On Insta and on Twitter, we are just Vegan Cheese Pod because there's too many letters.
Yes.
So anyway, so you can find us on there. So if you have a message for us or want to say something, feel free to DM us on those accounts. Mean. Follow us. We are going to be keeping those up a little bit more. We're both very busy. We got a lot of things going on, and then sometimes I'm like, I gotta make sure I do that.
I'm gonna get better.
So I apologize. I'm trying to make fun little screen cap meme kind of things from the shows that we're talking about. So we'll have some of those coming up. And one other thing I felt like I wanted to talk about. About reviews. If you are enjoying the podcast, write us a quick review on iTunes, Stitcher, whatever you're listening to us on. It really helps other people find the podcast. Yes. So it's very appreciative. We've had a few people writing us some nice reviews. So thank you very much for those of you that are actually listening to us ramble on about our two favorite things.
Yes.
Vegan food and the Golden Girls.
And the Golden Girls. And you know what, Dave?
Vicki, thank you for being a friend.